Hello students. The next topic in the chapter of pelvis is the joints and the ligaments of the pelvis. Okay. First I'll describe the joints and then I will speak about the ligaments. Now the joints of the pelvis are the sacroiliac joints and the pubic symphysis. Okay. So the two joints which are present here are the sacroiliac joints and the pubic symphysis. So here if I'll show you here, this is sacroiliac joint, SI joint. This is known as SI joint. You can see the arrow here. This is sacroiliac joint, okay, and here is the pubic symphysis, okay. So this is pubic symphysis and the SI joint, okay. Now the sacroiliac joints connect the axial skeleton. Now what does the axial skeleton consist of? The vertebral column and the sacrum being part of it to the inferior appendicular skeleton. So these joints, the pubic symphysis and the SI joint, will connect the axial skeleton, that is consisting of vertebral column and sacrum, to the inferior appendicular skeleton. So if you see here the SI joint, okay, this is the SI joint and pubic symphysis. This helps in connection with the inferior appendicular skeleton, okay, which consists of the lower limbs, okay. So first we'll talk about pubic symphysis. The two pubic bones are united in front at the pubic symphysis. So you know these two pubic bones are united in front, okay. So they are united in front as pubic symphysis. The two pubic bones are united in front as pubic symphysis, okay. Now in structure it corresponds to that of a secondary cartilaginous joint. So what is the type of joint here? Pubic symphysis, secondary cartilaginous joint. You have primary cartilaginous joint and secondary cartilaginous joint. So this is secondary cartilaginous joint. This is important for MCQ purpose. Okay. Now the fibrocartilaginous connects the two pubic surfaces which are covered by hyaline cartilage. So this is connected by fibrocartilage. The pubic symphysis, this joint, okay, is connected by fibrocartilaginous as well as by hyaline cartilage. The joint does not have a joint cavity, so there is no cavity in the joint and it is strengthened by the ligaments, okay. So two pubic bones unite and it is known as pubic symphysis. It is a secondary cartilaginous joint. It is a secondary cartilaginous joint. Fibrocartilaginous and hyaline cartilage, it is connecting the two pubic surfaces, okay, and it does not have a joint cavity but it has surrounding ligaments. Now what are the ligaments of the pubic symphysis? The ligaments of the pubic symphysis are the superior and inferior pubic ligaments, okay. So the ligaments here are the superior and inferior pubic ligaments. So here in the diagram you can see this is pubic symphysis. There is superior pubic ligament and inferior pubic ligament, okay. So this is above here is the superior pubic ligament and below is the inferior pubic ligament. This you can clearly see in this diagram, okay. The superior pubic ligament runs on the superior aspects of the pubic bodies and the interpubic disc. So this is running, the superior pubic ligament is present at the superior aspect of the pubic bodies. So here it is on the superior aspect of the pubic bodies, okay, and the interpubic disc. So on the superior aspect is the superior pubic ligament. The next is the inferior pubic ligament, which is also known as arcuate ligament. It connects the inferior pubic rami of both sides. So it will, the inferior pubic ligament, you can see this is superior rami of the pubis, this is the inferior rami of the pubis. So you can see here This you can see, this is the inferior rami. So this is the inferior, up to here is the inferior rami of the pubis. Okay. Now this inferior rami, okay, this is connected. It connects the two inferior rami of the both sides. So inferior, okay, so that is the inferior pubic ligament. It connects the inferior pubic rami of the both sides. So this is inferior pubic ligament. So you have superior pubic ligament and inferior pubic ligament. Okay. The pubic arch and the subpubic angle formed in the angulation between the two inferior pubic rami are thus rounded off. Okay. So this is subpubic angle. So because of this ligament, this subpubic angle is thus rounded off. Okay. So this is rounded off because of the inferior pubic ligament. This subpubic angle. Okay. This angle. Okay, so this is subpubic angle and the pubic arch, it becomes rounded off because of the inferior pubic ligament. Okay, anterior pubic ligament running between the anterior surfaces of both sides is also present. Sometimes the anterior pubic ligament is also present anteriorly on the pubic symphysis. Okay, so this is anterior pubic ligament. Tendinous attachment of the rectus abdominis and external oblique muscles also add to the strength of the joint. So you all know the rectus abdominis and external oblique muscle has its attachment on the pubic symphysis. For this you have to go through the muscles of the anterior abdominal wall. So the tendinous attachment of both these muscles is also strengthen the pubic symphysis. The pubic branches of the obturator, superficial, external pudendal and inferior epigastric arteries supply the joint. So the joint is supplied by the branches of the obturator, superficial external pudendal and inferior epigastric arteries. It supplies the joint and it is innervated by iliohypogastric, ilioinguinal and pudendal nerves. Okay. So the arterial supply, the blood supplies the branches of obturator, superficial, external pudendal and inferior epigastric arteries supply the joint, and the nerve supplies iliohypogastric, ilioinguinal and pudendal. Though the joint has only limited mobility, the rotational movements of this joint that accompany the movements of hip and the trunk help in absorbing shock. So the movements of the joint is very limited, only limited. But there are rotational movements of the joint which is along with the movements of the hip and the trunk. It helps in absorbing shock. Considerable movement along with some separation of pubic symphysis occurs during childbirth. But there is lot of movements as compared to normally. There is lot of movements during childbirth, during delivery. Okay, and also there is some separation of the pubic symphysis. So there is some separation at the level of the pubic symphysis. It gets little bit separated during childbirth. Okay, to provide space. So this was about pubic symphysis. In short, I will speak. The pubic symphysis, it's a secondary cartilaginous joint between two pubic bones. Okay, and this is a very important, one of the very important joint, okay, of the pelvis, pubic symphysis. It has fibrocartilaginous and hyaline cartilage. Okay, it is covered by fibrocartilage and hyaline cartilage, and it has no joint cavity. The ligaments are present which strengthens this pubic symphysis. There is superior pubic ligament which joins the two pubic bones superiorly. Okay, so there is inferior pubic ligament at the pubic arch, okay, or the subpubic angle. Okay, so this inferior pubic ligament, it makes it round. Okay, it makes it round. So inferior pubic ligament, it also known as arcuate ligament. It connects the inferior rami of both sides. Okay, it will connect the inferior rami of the both sides. Okay, and the pubic arch and the two inferior pubic rami. Okay, so the angle, the pubic arch and the subpubic angle in the angulation between the two inferior pubic rami are thus rounded off because of the presence of the inferior pubic ligament. Okay, so the subpubic angle, okay, and the inferior pubic rami, that is the arch, it is just rounded off because of the presence of inferior pubic ligament. Also, there is anterior pubic ligament running anteriorly on the surface of the joint, anterior surfaces of both the sides. Okay. Now, there is also tendinous attachment of external oblique and rectus abdominis muscle, which also provides certain strengthening to the joint surfaces. The blood supply is obturator, superficial external pudendal and inferior epigastric, and the nerve supply is iliohypogastric, ilioinguinal pudendal. There is some amount of rotational movements along with hip and trunk movements, but it is an shock absorber, and considerable movements and separation occurs during childbirth at the level of pubic symphysis. So this was about the pubic symphysis. The next joint which we'll take here is the sacroiliac joints. Now, what is the sacroiliac joint? So that we'll study. They are strong weight bearing joints. So they are strong and weight bearing joints. So this is the sacroiliac joint. You can see this is sacroiliac joint. So this is a strong weight bearing joint. Okay, it is strong weight bearing joint. The sacrum articulates on each side with the corresponding ilium forming the right and left sacroiliac joint. So what does the articulation, what is the articular surfaces? The sacrum, okay, the sacrum, it articulates on each side with the corresponding ilium. So the sacrum, right sacrum articulates with the right ilium and left sacral side articulates with the left ilium. So it forms right and left sacroiliac joint, SI joint. Okay, they are plain variety of synovial joint. It's a plain variety of synovial joint. Okay, the iliac and sacral articular surfaces are both shaped like the auricle, okay, like a pinna, and are therefore called auricular surfaces. If you see, it is, the shape is like the ears. You can see here the articular surface, the shape is like the ears of both the sacrum and the pubis. You see here the shape, it is like the ears. Okay, here the shape is like the ears. So the articular surfaces here, it is known as auricular surfaces. Okay, it is known as the auricular surfaces. Okay, now the surfaces are covered by cartilage. This cartilage on both the iliac and the sacral sides is more of fibrocartilage with interspersed areas of hyaline cartilage. Okay, so here in the SI joint, okay, the cartilage is fibrocartilage with some amount of hyaline cartilage. So the cartilage is fibrocartilage with some amount of hyaline cartilage in the SI joint. Because of the presence of number of raised and depressed areas, the joint allows little movement. Okay, so there is very little amount of movement present in this joint. This feature of limited mobility makes the sacroiliac joint very different from most of the other synovial joints and is consequent to its role in weight transmission. So this joint, it's a plain variety of synovial joint, but it has a very limited mobility. So this makes it very different from most of the other synovial joints. This SI joint has a limited mobility. its main role is weight transmission, okay, from the axial skeleton to the appendicular skeleton. The capsule of the joint is attached around the margins of the articular surfaces. So the capsule will be around the margins of the articular surfaces, and the cartilage is hyaline as well as fibrocartilage. It is thickened in its anterior part to form the ventral sacroiliac ligament. Okay, so this capsule of the joint is thickened in the anterior surface, that is anterior part, to form the anterior sacroiliac ligament. So if you take here this diagram, you can see here, this is the sacrum, this is coccyx, this is the ilium. So this is the sacroiliac joint, this is anterior sacroiliac ligament. This white one is the anterior sacroiliac ligament. You can see here very nicely. Okay, this is the anterior sacroiliac ligament. Okay, this one. Clear on both the sides. Or the ventral sacroiliac. The main bond of union between the sacrum and the ilium is the interosseous sacroiliac ligament. So there is also one presence of one ligament which is known as interosseous sacroiliac ligament. So if you see here, one diagram is there. This is known as interosseous sacroiliac ligament. You can see this is the posterior view. Okay, this is the posterior view. In the posterior view, you can see here there is very nicely seen interosseous sacroiliac ligament. See, okay, from the posterior view, this interosseous sacroiliac ligament on the posterior side of the joint surface. Okay, interosseous sacroiliac ligament. Okay, okay, so that is attached to the rough areas above and behind the auricular surfaces of the two bones. So I have shown you in the diagram, this interosseous sacroiliac ligament is attached to the rough areas above and behind the auricular surfaces of the two bones. So it is attached to the rough area. Okay, it is attached to the rough area behind the articular surfaces. So it is the posterior view. So behind the articular surfaces there is rough area, and this rough area, it gives the attachment of interosseous sacroiliac ligaments. Okay. The next ligament is the posterior aspects of the sacrum and ilium are connected by a strong dorsal sacroiliac ligament which covers the interosseous ligament from behind. So the next is the posterior sacroiliac ligaments on the dorsal surface. You can see here very nicely the posterior sacroiliac ligament which covers, okay, which covers the interosseous ligament from the side. It covers the interosseous ligament from the side. Okay, it covers the interosseous ligament from behind. The